I'm not going to argue with you guys about this.
Judge Leslie Ghiz knew what she needed to know to make a major decision before the retrial of Ray Tenzing. Good evening, everybody. I'm BRAUN.
And I'm Cammie Dierking. The T-shirt seen around the country will not be seen in the murder retrial of former UC officer Ray Tenzing. It
was a Smokey Mountain shirt with a Confederate flag on it, which Tenzing wore under his uniform the day he shot and killed Sam DuBose during a traffic stop. Local 12's Deborah Dixon reports on today's hearing to decide what's in and what's out for the retrial.
Former UC police officer Ray Tenzing was at the hearing to decide what the jury will see and hear in his murder retrial for the shooting death of Sam DuBose in 2015. The first trial ended in a hung jury. The T-shirt he had on that morning became a national story because of the Confederate flag. His attorney said Tenzing just needed a black shirt.
The University of Cincinnati provided uniforms to its officers, one part of which was a summer shirt which was opened at the collar. The department required that those officers wear a black T-shirt.
Prosecution wants the shirt in, saying because it wasn't damaged, it shows Tenzing could not have been dragged by DuBose's car, the reason he gave for shooting. Mathews said there's no damage because it was under his uniform and vest.
The only reason the state wants to introduce that Confederate T-shirt, as they call it, is to inject an issue of race into this case that is totally improper.
Judge Leslie Ghiz granted the motion to keep the T-shirt out of the trial.
If it had been a shirt that said, a black T-shirt that said all people are God's children, I still would exclude it. It is too prejudicial to the jury.
Hal Ehrenstein is Local 12's analyst for the trial.
As offensive as that shirt is, certainly there was no reason to be wearing it that day. But I think that the judge probably is concerned that the case be decided on the evidence as to what happened as opposed to what somebody might be wearing at the time.
The defense won the T-shirt argument, but sort of lost when it comes to new expert witness, forensic animator Scott Roeder. This is an example of how his evidence team reconstructs crime scenes, something Roeder says he's done hundreds of times in 20 years. In this case, evidence included the body camera. The prosecution argued Roeder takes artistic license.
We go out of our way to not add artistic license. We deliberately use these analog rigs to avoid emotion, to avoid prejudicing the jury.
Judge Ghiz said Roeder can testify to analysis, but will not allow animation, saying it makes an imperfect situation perfect. Both sides will spend the weekend going over questionnaires filled out by 180 potential jurors. Then on Tuesday, they'll begin picking 12 of them. Deborah Dixon, Local 12 News.
The defense also challenged the prosecution's video analyst, but the judge ruled he can also testify in the retrial.